Not guilty of...
James Saltmarshall, 22, is accused of SA and killed his 8-month-old daughter. In court, he hysterically claimed that he had never done anything to harm his daughter. In April, James panicked and dialed 911. He fell asleep watching a movie with 8-month-old Janiyah in his arms. When he woke up, Janiyah was no longer breathing. The emergency personnel immediately took Janiyah to the hospital. Unfortunately, she passed away due to serious injuries. The doctor's report shows that Janiyah has a skull fracture and traces of SA, and the damage was caused by a foreign object inserted into the anus. Although James has always claimed that he did not do it, the police still arrested him on charges of murder and SA. During his imprisonment, James repeatedly requested a retrial of his case, but was refused by the judge. Once the incident was reported, James received overwhelming insults and condemnation. However, 2 months later, the event took a turning point. Forensic experts have determined that Janiyah's death was actually a tragic accident. Rectal tear is only a small fissure caused by constipation, and no brain damage has been found. The cause of death was due to James accidentally suffocating Janiyah while he was sleeping. This is completely consistent with James's testimony during his detention that he held her too tightly because he was afraid she would fall off the bed. According to the forensic conclusion, the prosecutor's office ultimately dropped the charges against James and declared him innocent, but the harm James suffered can never be undone.
Well, hello there, viewers, and welcome back to PR Extreme 8, where you actually hear all the extreme stories, and we want to make sure that we always keep you abreast of everything that's happening today so that you are aware of all these crazy things and tragic stories like this one about baby Janiyah Saltmarshall. So I am going to go ahead and ask you guys to don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like and comment, and turn on those notifications. New to this channel, so really wanting you to go ahead and subscribe so that I can feel the love that you guys can give. So the responsibility of professionals to avoid rushing to conclusions is what we really need to focus on right now. Did the doctors do enough to determine that this young man actually was responsible for this child's death in a way that they were stating? Did he abuse the child in any way? Well, ultimately, they did not do enough substantial reporting and research to come to this conclusion. So how is it that they came to this conclusion? I'm actually at a loss for words that someone could actually, as a professional, someone could actually do this. Take someone's life into their own hands pretty much, and then accuse them of this, send the young man to prison, and then later conclude that, oh, oops, it was a mistake. We did not come to this actual conclusion. So how could that be? How could someone get away with that and then not be charged for it? That's the question. So the danger of premature medical claims, feeling wrongful arrest, is really what we're looking at right now. How dangerous is that a doctor could actually give a premature medical claim like this? I mean, I can't ask it enough because this actually happened, people. And you wonder, like, no. You actually think about that and say, no, nobody could actually do that. You cannot come to that kind of conclusion and then accuse this young man, make him go to jail, accuse him, make it so that, he is pretty much blackballed in his community because people are wrongfully accusing him and stating all these claims, and it didn't even actually happen. How crazy is that? So now forensic errors can alter someone's life forever. I mean, you know that, right? If you have a medical examiner come up with some kind of forensic report, an autopsy, so to speak, that says, hey, this is what we found, you better make sure that you're doggone well right before you release that to the public. But did they do that? Absolutely not. And then the crazy part of this, the craziest part of all to me, James's mother, Aisha Saltmarshall, actually did not trust her own son to do the right thing. So, I read all the reports and I saw that James's mother actually said that it was sort of Bonnie and Clyde type of event that took place with this young father and the mother of the child, accusing him of doing the wrong thing. And how could a mother not know his son? I feel as if perhaps maybe she did not like the mother of the child. And at some point in time, she actually kept the child. And now, of course, full custody went back to James, and I think the mother was actually upset about that. That's my feeling. And so she put out this little statement that she believes that, what's done in the dark will come to light eventually, pretty much accusing her son of doing these horrific things. But did he actually do it? No, he did not. However, the mom never came out and said, I owe an apology. We haven't heard anything from her. She basically outright accused her son of this mishap and then never came out and said, son, I don't know how I couldn't have trusted you. I don't know how I could have accused you. She didn't. We haven't heard anything. She just ghosted everything about her. No one's heard from her. No one's heard from the mom at all. Why? Because I know that she did wrong, and I think that she's ashamed of the way that she treated her son. So now you'll ask yourself, why would a mother doubt her son so strongly? It speaks volumes about family strain. There's so many things that probably took place. The mother having this child for a while and not wanting to give up the child to the father, and then the accidental death of the child. Of course, it was determined eventually that he actually, meaning James, actually rolled over on his child and was holding the baby so tight that he possibly suffocated the baby. So that was proven. That's an accident. I mean, it's sad. It's really sad for him, but it was an accident. Now, the mother not speaking up and maybe speaking to the son's character, that's just got to be outlandish to me. I mean, it is absolutely outlandish to me. Now, Zuleika Moreno, who happens to be the baby's mother, she was on probation for third-degree child abuse. So I can see how the public looked at her for possibly maybe having a part in this. Some people, actually I have read, said that perhaps she knew the child was constipated. There were other things that took place, and then she sent that child to the father for him to watch. So there is speculation that the mother could have done some wrongdoing, since it really does shine some light on her, because she actually had 6 children taken away from her. So that's pretty telling. I think it's a telltale sign that perhaps maybe the mom and the mother didn't quite get along, and so that's what caused this strain in her and her son's relationship. But I mean, it really had nothing to do with the son. So I'm so hurt at how the mother did not stick up for her child. If your child is doing wrong, by all means, yes, I'm going to state the case, and I'm going to say, hey, you know, I know my son, and I believe that maybe there was some wrongdoing. But if you don't really believe that, and you don't think there was wrongdoing, I think it's just egregious of the mother to say something like that about her son and then not apologize later. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about the mom. It's just crazy. Now, prosecutors actually dropped the charges due to lack of evidence. Okay, I think absolutely they dropped the charges because there was no evidence. I'll say that again. Prosecutors dropped the charges because there was lack of evidence. So now we have these doctors who said these egregious things about him. We have this mother who said her egregious things about her son. And then, lo and behold, the prosecutors finally realize, after about 7 days, we're going to go ahead and let him go because we don't have any evidence to prove that this young man actually assaulted this baby, molested this child, or did any wrongdoing other than rolling over and holding the baby too tight. Now, the Wayne County medical examiner later found no skull fractures or signs of assault. This is crazy because despite the release, James's reputation was destroyed by earlier accusations. Now, you know, if everybody is seeing this case, and this is shown over and over and over and over online, on different sites, on different television shows, throughout different newscasts, well, what is it that you see? All you see is this guy's reputation being ruined over and over and over again. And so basically, all of these videos should have come down. And I feel like it was way too early for everyone to accuse this young man before all the evidence was had. The public and the media rarely correct their narratives after wrongful accusations. So even to this day, people will watch that video. They may not see the second video that exonerates him. So all they see is that this poor young man, this child's father, was accused of pretty much doing harmful things to the baby. Pretty much just doing the wrong things. That's what people see when they see those videos played over and over and over again. So now I challenge you to think about, what would happen if this was your child, or if this was someone that you know that spent time in jail, was labeled as a baby and a child molester. And then inside prison, those labels could have led to beatings. They could have led to death from other inmates. I mean, thank heavens he got out when he did. But you never know what could have happened when people know that this man is accused of being a child molester. It's not too nice. Inmates aren't nice because they know what people are in there for. And so they take it upon themselves to do harmful things because they think, that's the key word, that this man did these wrongdoings when he actually did not. So how crazy is that even after the acquittal, James's name is forever being tied to these horrific allegations. I'm sure he has difficulty finding work. I'm sure that just rebuilding his reputation is difficult and living under this suspicion. I mean, it's pretty much emotional trauma for him. He not only lost his daughter, but he was falsely accused of her death. I mean, it was super quick how police acted based on unverified medical claims. And then you think about the failure of the CPS, the failure of the courts and the medical examiner's office. All of them failed in many, many ways. The community outrage was fueled by pretty much misinformation. And then, of course, you have Aisha's powerful statement. That's the mom. I mean, the system failed her granddaughter, Janiyah. That's what the mother said. The system failed her granddaughter, Janiyah. She, in turn, failed her own son. So if you reflect on how devastating these false accusations can be, then we need to pretty much call for accountability. Accountability from the doctors, accountability from the medical examiners, and accountability from the police. I mean, I can only reiterate that James lost his daughter. He lost his freedom. He lost his name. I mean, we always need to seek truth before we judge. But we don't do that. So I encourage you as a viewer to just think about what it would be like if this happened to you or your child or someone that you love. I'd like to see some comments on this because, I mean, I think it's horrific. And the fact is that we, as a community, judge people so often before we know all the facts. That's horrific. I mean, the judges, the court systems, the doctors, everyone who was at fault needed to really find out the full case and find out all the evidence before they bring it upon themselves to accuse this young man who now is going to probably reap this horrific hatred for the rest of his days. I read the transcript about this case from top to bottom, and it's just amazing that no one was able to be sued on this. The police weren't because they did what was justifiable. The doctors didn't get charged because, you know, they made a mistake, and I guess that mistake is something that could happen. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the mom ghosted everyone. We never heard an apology from her. She accused this young man. So basically, he was accused on all the different levels, but he wasn't paid for it. He wasn't, they gave him a little slap on the wrist, the police department and the prosecutors and, the doctors. Oh, don't do that again. And that's it. But imagine if that shoe was on the other foot. What would happen then? It's just crazy how no one takes accountability for this. And of course, this young man's reputation, forever in the limelight. I mean, these videos are going to continue to evolve and continue to be seen. And then I've never even heard of the case until this year. This happened, years ago. But this poor man still has to, again, reap this hatred that comes along with this. So I encourage you as a viewer to like, to comment, and then subscribe to my channel. And then share your thoughts with me because, again, I really like to hear what you as a viewer thinks about these stories. And I'll continue to bring these extreme stories to light because I felt as if something like this was absolutely needed, because perhaps it'll stop people from making these rash judgment calls. Perhaps these doctors will think more of what they're doing before they let that out into the public's eye. Perhaps maybe prosecutors will look over all the facts before they make a determination. And perhaps that mother would not put out all those spews about her son until she really found out what really happened. This is PR Extreme 8. Stay safe and be blessed.